Hello. I wanted to answer your inquiry via video. I figured it would be more assistive. So we'll start off just deleting everything, and I'm just going to kind of remake what I was sent as a visual, which is, I think, some sort of bracelet. Sometimes in replies, trying to be simple with words makes you sound condescending. I'm talking about myself, but I totally don't intend that. So it's easier to discuss it over video so that my tone and intonations can be analyzed that way, and you can see that, I'm just trying to assist you with getting to your goal. So, I brought in some text. I basically used text scroll to bring up another font, and so we could deal with it on a 2D level as a mesh and then make it solid for hops using hops, or we can do it while it's a text object and start dealing with it like this, which text, when you do it like this, it becomes like this disconnected object. And what I mean by that is if we duplicate this and we convert this to mesh, these pieces aren't connected, and also the geometry is literally nightmarish. So like even talking about dice is difficult without the discussion of the geometry underneath being brought up. So that's the difference between me just converting it to mesh after extruding it as text. Alternatively, let's not do that. Since extrude plays off of Blender's own extrude, there's not a option for me to basically clear it with the letter C or anything. I mean, I can right click and it'll put it back as neutral value, but I had to locate it here in order to remove it. I'm sorry for all this over explanation. Anyways, let us go ahead and convert this to mesh. And now this is a mesh, and the mesh isn't very beautiful in my opinion, but at least it's on a 2D level and we can deal with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go under operations and I'm going to clean the mesh. That will give us simpler geometry, and this is something that's a lot more capable of dice. The other thing is that these aren't necessarily flowing in the intended directions. I usually go for something a little more strict. So using box cutter, I'm just going to just cut a line across, and the thing is I've touched on every single hole happening basically. So let's grab these, Control X, and we're just going to get rid of just some of these extra ones that aren't needed. I'm pressing Control X just to do limited dissolve. You don't want it to dissolve your points or else you'll start impacting the outside, but now the text is actually at a better state for us to start with, right? So around this you had another object which you're trying to make it deform together with. And in older videos I used to talk about something called the butter versus the knife, where basically the knife has to be denser than the butter that is slicing. But after years of saying it now, which is the butter and which is the knife? I jest, of course. Box cutter's the butter. No, box cutter's the knife. The mesh is the butter. So we want to apply the scale, so that way whenever I bevel it, we get something like this. And I'm just doing it lazily, looking at the image you sent. These bevels on the edge, I thought were curious, as in like it's a dense little geometry packet that I think would cause dice to have issues with deformation in some areas. I usually try to dice things evenly, where all the geometry just kind of has like the same density, but cases differ. So let us go ahead and we're just scaling it down, getting it to fit. I already gave it some solidification. If we take this into local and we Alt V and we look at it on the wire level, this is what we're kind of looking at so far. And if we wanted to, we could also do some reductions on this just to bring it down. But really, what happened here? This is one of those things you got to watch out with text. And also probably the point of today's video is that text, no matter what, you think you have a good plan, and then you get a text object I'm going to use nsolve, and by setting Alt to dissolve, we're going to turn off dissolve verts, and we're just going to dissolve that. That's just the easiest way for me, just quickest in my brain. And we'll just press W. Let's go back and look at this. And these sort of geometric issues, like the ones you just saw me fix, like if I would have ignored it, we would have just had like an artifact of unknown explanation. And trying to automate it through these steps is also another way to kind of run into failure. So it's hard. It's hard to, you know, you automate too much and it all breaks down. And you automate too little and it's not very impressive. So now, I mean, computers are like, I'll automate you. What chance do we have, what chance do we have? So I'm going to put an underscore on this modifier, and that way whenever I go in and I perform a cut like so and another cut, we don't resort the mirror, we just have them placed afterwards. Just a real quick easy way. There's also a shape sticking out over on the other side, so I'm just going to insert a plane and we will place this here and just make an arrow. You know how I like to make an arrow? Pressing Alt D. Pressing Alt D with my mouse on the right side. And we can bisect mod, take this, merge it last, and I know, weirdest arrow ever, but I just love Alt D. Alt D is such a strange one. Also, never breaks. Like, I've never had a bug with Alt D. And sometimes that's the most important thing. Is I'm trying to inset this, but it's not going to let me do it like that. So I'm going to apply to mirror. We'll use nsolve again. And the reason is because I'm just trying to get rid of that geometry. Now, let's say you don't have nsolve. You could press Control X there and just get rid of that singular point, and that will do it. I'm not saying that it's required for every situation. I'm saying I personally try to use it in every situation because I'm a permanent salesman. So let us continue. And, you know, I think a loop from here to here will do it. And if we Alt X, press D, and symmetrize, and what am I doing? I'm sorry. This isn't that type of video. I'm over here solving geometry. Let's clean the mesh. Let us solidify. Sorry, I get distracted. Like, I jumped right out of a phone call and was like, hey, I actually gotta go and record a video. A random person needs me. They were like, alright, dude. You know, what else can you say? You know, we live in a world where we should be there for the random people, you know. Alright, so here's my object. It took 8 minutes to make. Terrible time. Alt VE just so I get some viewport shadows. I mean, come on, it's 2026, baby. We will lessen the amount of solidification happening here. And let us take this, press Q, union. Let's take these, union. Alright, and now we have our object. And we see that we could have done better at babying. Like, whenever I get loops that are going just oddly, I'm like, I could do better. And by do better, I mean I'm just going to symmetrize that to the other side, putting a loop down the middle, and that will allow it to solve with the loop being assisted. Just kind of a little Boolean tip. If you don't solve the geometry in some way to assist Blender, Blender will solve it for you, and you will not like its solution. Just like the text. I was showing the text, but let's wrap this up. So now what I want to do is basically dice this. So I'm going to Alt-click, and Alt-clicking will bring you into Smart Apply Dice. Like if I go out and I press Control-Z, I'm actually going to Shift-click Smart Apply to make a clone, and then we'll duplicate that twice. So this is our original with all the modifiers on it. And what I want to show is that if we Alt-click Dice, we apply all of these modifiers. If we go into Dice without applying all these modifiers, we're actually applying it only to this mesh that we're seeing right here. This is the only mesh that's real, unless we apply all the modifiers. On these, all the modifiers are applied, so everything is real. We can select things and make manipulations, so everything's good to go. In fact, just to show how dice could go, we just click on dice, and it just dices, and now we have it going across. Now you notice that there's some artifacting here, and that's because of the way that dice works. There's two versions of dice. There's dice intersect, and then there's dice project. Dice project can sometimes succeed in cases where dice intersect fails. Right here we're looking at a failure case, and that's of course bad. No one likes to look at failure. In fact, one of the goals of hops is to try to mitigate that failure, to try to make the failure something that you can control and maybe not have happen to you. So let's go in again. I'm going to click dice, and this time I'm going to press Q, and we see that we've changed it to intersect. This time when we look at it, we see that there are no weird geometry issues happening on the mesh, and we could more than likely deform this. In fact, I'm going to snap my cursor here, and we're going to bring in a circle, and I'm just going to select this, select the curve, and we're going to use Q and use curve modifier. The reason that we're using the option from the Q menu is because we can use the F9 to choose between X, Y, and Z in order to get this to deform the way that we need it to. In fact, this is probably the closest. So now we could take our curve, we could press Control T, 180, and voila. Now we have the Hops Arcade bracelet. You come to the Hops Arcade, we're going to slap one of these babies on you, we'll keep up with your tokens, we'll ensure that you keep winning all night. Not too much winning, but just enough winning. You'll be winning so much you'll be begging us to stop. You'll say, I'm sick of winning. No, I'm joking. So continuing on, so we have this object, right? And it has all the modifiers. So you're saying, I just want to slap my dice on this and move on my merry way. Well, let's go in here, and I'll Control C just to copy it to my clipboard, habit. And if we just click dice, we see that we're only dicing in the first area. If we press Smart Apply, we see that we've Smart Applied everything, and now we're dicing the full object. So based on our knowledge previous, we know that we need to press Q to change it from knife project to intersect, because intersect is what works with this. And then now whenever we apply it, we have it not cause any sort of issues with our mesh. Versus, let's put the original version back in, and I'm just going to move this down. I like to test out the clipboard. Like the clipboard in Blender is a weird thing. I'm going to Control click on Manage to send everything else on my clipboard to the right collections. But yeah, clipboard is insane. I love it. So look, we'll go into dice again. We see that we're not dicing everything like we want. So we press S to Smart Apply. And then from here, we can just, I'm not even going to press Q. We're just going to click and apply it. And we see that that just went through. Except that there are issues happening with the surface in certain areas, and that is because the algorithm we used didn't work out. So I kind of wish there was like a little undo, like in games and apps that I play with, after an operation they'll show like a little undo slider that's dialing down, that's saying like, you have a moment to undo and redo this operation. Are you sure what you're seeing is what you actually want? And as I discuss it, I'm gonna bring up the idea, be like, can we have a time to undo? Like a 20-second undo, and it will get shot down from orbit. But anyways, we've now solved the problem. I mean, I don't want to leave it off on this example. Let us Control V, we'll paste it in again. I like how it pasted the mesh, but also all the supporting meshes. So I'm just going to use evict to evict everything that doesn't matter. We're going to just alt click dice because I don't even want to press Smart Apply. We'll press Q because I don't even want to look at geometric issues, and we are going to cut it. And then from here I can just go to curve, and under curve use the F9, and we can just change this to the right axis, and now this object is perfectly set to deform with the curve, and I can just twist it and deform it in the viewport however I need for whatever goal without any sort of issue. So hopefully that answers your question. I know it's a little bit of an extended one, but I was looking at my reply and I was like, that sounds a little terse. And I'm not really a terse person. If anything, I'm goal-oriented. I want you to be in your viewport, dicing and deforming, just like me. And with that, I wrap up this video, and I'll see you next time.